Hey Vicki, thank you for joining me today on TDOC Talks.
Oh, thank you for being at West Tennessee and Women's Therapeutic Residential Center.
How many TDOC Talks have you done already?
I've probably done 3 at least.
Okay. Well, this is my favorite one so far.
Yes.
So let's get started. So thank you everybody for joining us. It's Thursday night, 6 p.m. I have Director Vicki Freeman here, Director of Women's Services, and we're at West Tennessee State Penitentiary Women's Therapeutic Residential Center. You're like, that's a whole lot of title, but wait till you see what we have to show you today. Now, first before we get to that, what is the center house? What's housed here on this side of West Tennessee State Penitentiary?
Well, this is female residents, and they are medium custody or below. We have our therapeutic community, which is substance abuse treatment. We have our supportive living unit for level of care 3 inmates and above. And it is based on a therapeutic model, the therapeutic community model. So the entire facility is phased. We have 4 phases, stages of change in our orientation phase. We have a job track phase and a treatment program phase. That's phase 2. Phase 3 is our maintenance phase, where they get into TriCore, the pause program. They maintain steady employment and continue programming. And then phase 4 is our reentry phase.
Wow, so this facility is very much so different than our other facilities across the state.
Absolutely, yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
So, but one of the jewels of this facility is the Child Visitation Gallery, which we're standing inside right now. Now, we have child visitation at Tennessee Prison for Women.
Yes.
And that facility also has visitation for ages 6 weeks to
3 months through age 6 years of age.
Great.
So,
this facility is a little bit different. We have a bigger building, a whole different concept.
Yes.
And it's a little bit more exciting. So we'll talk about that more on the tour. Let's take you along with us.
thank you.
Let's go this way. So, in here, the first room we're going to enter into is the infant side of the building. I mean, take a look around. This reminds me of Pottery Barn Kids, honestly, the way it looks. Tell us what goes on this side of the building.
All right, so this is for our younger children. In our rooms, we have cribs. We also have trundle beds, but we have 3 rooms, and the parent interacts with the children over the weekend. They come in on Friday night, and they can stay till Sunday afternoon. So it's for bonding with the parent. We know that having a parent in prison is one of the ACE factors, adverse childhood experience, and anytime that we can promote healthy bonding with the parent, it's a more positive outcome for that child, and it helps us break that cycle of generational criminality with the families.
So you mentioned the fact that, you have to have no disciplinaries, things of that nature, for taking part in this program. Some people might be wondering, you're bringing kids inside of a prison. How exactly does that work? How do you get them in without them seeing everything else that goes on here?
So this program building for the child visitation, overnight child visitation, is on the compound, and the entire facility is locked down when the children come through, and they're escorted from checkpoint into the actual visitation area. So there's no other inmates out when they come through. So the safety is our utmost concern whenever we're bringing the children through.
So let's take a look at one of those cribs you were talking about. Let's go on inside. So in this room, I mean, take a look around. Butterflies on the wall, a lovely bed and bedding, and then of course the baby crib. I mean, amazing. So who provided all of these lovely items that are in this room?
A lot of our volunteers provided. The facility actually provided some of the beds and the cribs, but the women actually, the residents here, actually built this facility. It was a program building, and it had 2 classrooms in it. So some of the women with construction skills actually came in, they gutted this building out, they put the sheetrock up, they built the walls. There's a lot of vested interest from the population into this building.
Okay. So, I mean, take a look. The bookshelves, I mean, who doesn't love Peppa Pig? I mean, all the things here to make it feel cozy and not like a prison facility.
Absolutely. We want that healthy bonding with the parent. When it's in a sterile environment, a more prison-like environment, obviously there's going to be that little bit of fear in the child. But when they walk in here, it feels like being in a home.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's take a look at some of the other things that they have throughout the facility. There's also obviously bedrooms, but there's also a common area. And in the common area, what takes place in this room that we're walking into now?
So this is a common area. The women can come in with their children. We have a television in here. We also have a small kitchenette. Obviously they can't cook in here. Meals are provided by the facility, but the women can bring commissary in. This for the snacks and things like that for the children. So we provide a refrigerator, we have a microwave. No heavy duty cooking, but we want to make sure the children have meals and snacks.
So speaking about the food, like if there's a infant that needs some food, I mean, how do they get that formula?
Formula's allowed in, baby food's allowed in, of course diapers are allowed in, and that's all searched at checkpoint before it comes through. So the guardian of the child would provide all of that. Also want to point out our chalkboard writing wall. So even if they're in here, we have an area where they can play. We provide chalk and they can do artwork, the children can.
Now, I have little kids at the house, and this next room that we're going into would make them just go crazy.
Oh, yes.
They would love this little room that we're walking into now.
This area is for our children. They're a little bit older. We also have 3 rooms on this side. We have a basketball game that they can play. We have playstations that were donated to the facility. And then, of course, our rooms are set up with the Trundle Beds, no cribs on this side,
right,
so that the older children have a comfortable place to sit.
Let's take a look inside of this one.
And each side also contains their own bathroom, bathtub, shower.
Okay. So you mentioned the Trundle Bed because you said they can come here up to age 10, correct?
Yes.
So the Trundle Bed is obviously for the older children.
Yes.
So what if a mother has more than one child? Can you bring all 4 of your kids here today, or are you one at a time?
Well, one at a time, and of course, sometimes that can create some anxiety in the child, but it also gives that mother one-on-one time with each individual child where she's not trying to divide her attention up. But based on space, really one child at a time is all that can come visit. There's not enough room for more than one child to sleep.
And is this whole building utilized every weekend?
It is. It is. Child visitation is available to any female here. We talked earlier about disciplinaries. They have to be disciplinary free for so long of a time. They have to complete a parenting class, and then the women apply to come visit.
Awesome. So while we've talked about the warm, fuzzy aspects of this and the very important unification aspects of it, there are some out there who might think, well, why are we providing all of this inside of a prison? Can you talk about how it is an incentive for those who are here, and also how it does help reduce recidivism by having those strong family bonds?
Absolutely. Obviously, the more family bonds you have, the less likely you're to recidivate. And of course, again, the ACE factor for the child, it's about having healthy bonding between parent and child. And the more family reunification they have, the less likely they are to reoffend when they actually complete their sentence and return to the community.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much it for us today on TDOC Talks. I wanted you guys to get a first-hand look of everything that's going on in the Child Visitation Center at WTRC here in Henning, Tennessee. Please take a look around and stay tuned for longer after this video. We'll give you an up-close and personal tour of all the artwork on the wall that was all done by a resident here at this facility. So thank you, and join us in 2 weeks again at 6 p.m. for TDOC Talks. Have a good night.